can convince you to go ahead and buy these drugs versus feeding your family, you know, I'm a salesman, but the high is really, I'm selling that high, you know what I mean? But we don't condone any of that behavior.
I mean, clearly we do. This is like
we don't,
man. Fourth or fifth time we've had to say that we don't.
Hey,
we're making an analogy.
From what I hear, we interrupt this programming to bring to you Hops and Stocks does not condone any illegal activities.
Right. I'll say it again before I say what I'm going to say. We do not promote illegal activity. Right. But from what I hear is you don't sell drugs, you sell yourself.
There you go. That's where you're gonna put a little bow on it.
Hops and Stocks. What is that thing? The Hops and Stocks cartel. That's what we are.
So I know
talking about trap queens and all sorts of stuff.
Right.
She's my trap queen. Let her hit the bando.
For the culture, though. It's for the culture. It's for the culture.
Hops and Stocks podcast is presented by 100 Spoke Media Group. We encourage our listeners to drink responsibly. Please note, we are not financial advisors. We do not offer or provide financial advice.
I'm Spoke affiliated from the city of Jim.
You all ready to go ahead and get started? Or
yeah, we can start.
Let's do it. What is this? 47?
Episode 47.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Of the Hops and Stocks podcast, brought to you by 100 Spoke Media Group.
I'm like, was that the intro?
Oh, was that the intro?
It was kind of slick, though. It was kind of slick.
I looked up like, oh shit, we get started.
Hey, I'm about to count us down. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Hops and Stocks podcast, brought to you by 100 Spoke Media Group.
Yes, welcome back.
One day it's gonna get old, but I can't stop laughing.
I appreciate that you laugh every time, man. I hope you never lose that joy, man.
Hey, man, that never gets old.
This is episode 47. We got our man Doug back with us. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, y'all?
Back, man.
Yeah. It's
been
good
a couple
to be back.
episodes.
I'm glad y'all been holding it down, man. I've been listening to y'all. Yeah, y'all haven't been sounding too whack, man. Y'all been holding it down.
Thanks for the compliment.
But
appreciate it.
So handling some family business, but yeah, y'all.
Now we informed the listeners that you was raising the next soccer star, man. So
man.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, man. You know, club soccer. I know you know about it, Blast. It's such a crazy commitment.
Oh yeah. I didn't know you went club.
Yeah, we're club, and not only time, but the financial side of it. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. That uniform price, I was like, what?
Well, it's not even a uniform. They'll say, hey, this is how much for this.
It's always something else. Like,
right. This is for the season.
Team fee. This is the club fee. I'm like, man, I had to ask the dude, like, what the hell is the difference between the two, man?
It's the tournament, like the tournaments. Like, all right, we're going to enter this tournament. I'm like, hold on. I haven't voted for any tournament. You know what I mean? Have you all sent out a survey if parents want to do these tournaments? Like, it'd be like an extra $275. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, then they start coming with that overseas. Like, we're thinking about going to Barcelona. I'm like,
is it a season?
It's 2 seasons.
It's, 2 seasons.
Fall and spring.
Okay.
And you drop in the stack for both those seasons. But on top of that, you're paying for tournament here. We got a tournament in Dayton. And I'm like, man, wow.
Where did y'all play for?
Like Tamaya may miss a tournament or two.
Where's the tournament at in Dayton?
We're still getting information. It's next weekend. It's a friendly tournament. So it's like that entry fee is not that much. It's like $50 for that one.
Because it's a big old tournament that's normally across the street at Cloud Park. It's a big old tournament over there.
Yeah, maybe there, but
it's big business for sure, man.
It is big business, but it's competitive too. Like you can't be out there sucking it up.
Yeah, it's a different world from rec soccer or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even though it costs a lot, I can definitely see the improvement.
Yeah, that's why I recommended that David Arnold. You probably relate more with the young ones right now, but man, he pretty funny. Man, he talks about how his daughter was playing volleyball. She was doing rec, but then they got her into club and she started sucking. He's like, man, I've never been so mad. He's like, I want to kill all these motherfuckers. I mean, he's funny, man. it's like real family oriented type stuff that he talks about, but then he gets.
Okay.
But yeah, man. You know who sets it off.
Yeah, man. Let's do it like we always do.
About
Let's throw it to him.
Yeah, do you have a can today?
He has a tall can today.
Yeah, have a tall can.
All right, like we always do about this time.
You said, "Do you have a can today?"
Mr. What's in this tall can? Beat up. What you got, man?
Why y'all questioning if I got a can, man?
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. Like you be rocking bottles lately or something?
Yeah, man, come on with bottles, man, and chalices and shit.
When I come with bottles, I don't say what's in this can. But yeah, today's offering is Tropical Beer Hug. You see that artwork right there? Cool little bear with some cool shades on. This comes from one of our favorites brewing houses, Goose Island at Chicago. We normally mess with the I've had some of their other offerings, but the main ones that we are looking for now is the Bourbon County joints. So he informed me the other day they come out on Black Friday.
Black Friday every year.
Black Friday. So yeah, this one is a Tropical Beer Hug. This is coming in at 9.9. Low key in a tall can form.
Yeah, how many ounces is that?
It's 19.2.
19.2.
Yeah, already poured him on up. It's it's an Imperial IPA, 9.9, 45 on the IBU. So see what it is. Okay.
Is it one of those?
Okay, so it says Tropical Beer Hug. So I'm not getting much tropical. I'm getting a whole lot of bitterness to it. I can taste that 9.9 on it. It's kind of like it's in between light and heavy, if that make any sense. It's a moderate type of body.
I hear a 3.75 coming.
It's hold on. Let me go for round two.
3.75 is good for B-Dub. This guy once gave something a 2.
You know what that second sip means.
Yeah, we do know what second sip means.
Okay, like we talked about over the weekend, it has that almost that metallic type of taste to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we talked about that. It has a lot of afterburner to it. like I could feel it flaming back up when it, you know what I'm saying? It's decent, man. I wouldn't get it a sink pour.
3.
Yeah, definitely 3 something.
I know we talked about if the can delivers what it says it's going to deliver.
Right.
Now, with that being said, tropical is not what I'm getting. So, with that being said, I'm going to have to go 3.75.
What is?
Did you read the notes?
Yeah, I'm about to say, does it have the notes?
It just says tropical and citrus.
Okay.
And it's not definitely, well, I mean, with the can alone, with the artwork, you would think it was some lighter, smoother, a lot more cleaner. It's almost heavy. I guess you couldn't have that good balance with it being 9.9. I expect that to be like that cleaner, lighter type of beer to be around like a 6, maybe a 7. But this is a 9 almost. 9 is a 10 to me. And that's stout, that's stout wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I've had that joint, man. And it got me. I was there's this deli out there's a neighborhood called the Nations, 51st Deli, and you can order food, but they also got like a really good beer selection, like in like real coolers and stuff. And I saw that and I was like, this is Goose Island. The first thing I did was a step back because I didn't realize it was Goose Island when I picked it up. The can caught my attention. And then, like you said, it was a tall can. And I saw that 9 something. I was like, yeah, this is a must have. Drank it with some birria tacos. It wasn't overwhelming. Like I would have gave it a 4. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like one of my favorites. But you're right.
I mean,
You don't get a lot of tropicalness out of it.
Yeah, I'm definitely not getting a tropical, but I'm not mad at it. It's decent what's in this can. So, like I said, I get this 375. Once again, this is Goose Island Tropical Beer Hug minus the tropical.
That's a lot of beer. That's a lot
No.
of 3.75.
So
I mean, you got 10%. You get something positive out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With all this, I'm definitely gonna get that. So what you got there, Blast?
B-Dub, when you said it tastes metallic, it reminded me of that beer that we had at Streetside that was a stout, but it didn't really taste that good. But when you switched it around, it was an IPA.
Hey man, I can't remember which one that one was. That was weird.
So man, we had this stout, right? It had some off-putting notes, and I don't know for whatever reason, man. I just kind of swirled it around, not in the glass, but like kind of swished it around in my mouth. And when you did that, it tasted like an IPA. And I told E, I was like, "Hey man, do this and see what you think." And he said it was dead on.
It was called Wolves in Sheep's Clothing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a good title.
it is a good title.
Y'all swishing beer in your mouths at the brewery.
I didn't do that personally.
I knew Toes was gonna go there, but I mean there was no other way to explain it, man.
I didn't go anywhere, man. I just repeated what you said. Y'all
Welcome back.
That's why I was trying to clean it up, man. I didn't want to say, swirl or some other shit. So I was like, let me try to make this as masculine as possible without.
Y'all was in there gargling beers.
Yeah, see.
Yeah, I didn't do that technique. I mean, they said it worked for them. I take their word for it.
Hey, welcome, Miss Dr. Corinn Taylor. Are you going to turn your camera on or are you just chilling right now? Okay. Are you just chilling?
Oh, she on mute.
I was going to just listen to you guys talk
okay.
about these beers. So I did not want to interrupt. I wanted to just enjoy the conversation.
That's fine. I just want to make sure you weren't trying to get away from having your camera on. So you can.
Yeah, I'm camera ready.
All right.
A couple more minutes. We'll be back with you.
All right. Well, B-Dub, you threw it over my direction. Tonight I'm doing Untitled art. I know E's probably gonna get me for this, but I got Juice Drops Peach Nectaron IPA, 7.5 ALC. Untitled art is out of Waunakee, Wisconsin, as we all know. We done reviewed it plenty of times, but nice can work here.
Oh yeah,
lots of colors.
Yeah, I got that one today.
Brew has kind of an orangey pour to it. Nose is giving off that typical IPA. Let's see what it tastes like.
it's got to be good, dog.
Not bad, man. It's got some peach in it, but I don't know if it's like nailing the peach. To me, it's really just an IPA, man. I'm gonna go with you, B-Dub, 375.
It might be a 375 kind of day.
Nah,
We'll see.
I got some heat over here.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I would drink it, but it just ain't nothing special.
So that
Words of one of our friends is really nothing.
UA let you down a little bit.
I don't know about a letdown, but just average.
Shout out to the guy who sent this to me, man. I don't know if he want me to put his name out there like that, but you know who you are, so
You know who you are. Thanks.
his alias is no, I ain't gonna say that.
You got Doug.
Let's see what you got, man.
I got a Berliner style wise raspberries. Radiance of Being. It's out of Dayton.
Oh yeah,
Branch and Bone.
Branch and Bone. Branch and Bone.
Branch and Bone.
Artisan Ales. I went into the H&H and I kind of, let our lady know. Shout out to Country Market Fresh.
Yeah,
they always show us love, man. They say they always listen to the podcast, so shout out to them. Let me see what this tastes like, man.
Color is dope.
Yeah, great color.
Oh
man.
yeah, bitter beer face.
Yeah, and I mean, but I'll let
exactly
you do your
what it
thing,
is.
Toes. I've had two Branch and Bones, and they both been kind of. And I think B-Dub did one on the show too, and it was.
Man,
You want to root for the home team, but
And that's what, that's why I got it. But I mean, it is what it is, man. Don't even hold back.
wow.
man, yeah,
Yeah.
he doesn't like that Kool-Aid at all.
Oh wow.
He went
That's horrible,
he went
man.
for the second sip. You know
You
what
said
that means?
horrible?
Yeah, that's nasty.
Oh man.
I mean, that's not good for me, man.
What is that? What is that? Sugar-free Kool-Aid or something, man?
What's the hold on?
Yeah.
What was the notes again? What was it called?
It's just raspberry, and she hyped it up. I ain't gonna knock her, man. She tried, man. But I'm like, bruh, what is this, man? Branch and Bones. I give it a 2.75, man.
Low.
I mean, it's sitting on my tongue now. Like,
Oh, well, I mean, if you're gonna get on people about swishing,
I'm just saying, taste.
this
The
guy's
taste.
talking about stuff sitting on his tongue.
The taste is sitting. Wow.
Get him, Blast.
This is like astronaut. This is almost like astronaut.
Hey, do you still have that astronaut food?
Man, Big Carib snuck that into my refrigerator, man. I was going through the refrigerator like, man, what the hell is this? Then he done snuck the little can in the refrigerator. I'm gonna throw it away.
Hey man, no, you gotta drink that.
Nah, I drink it. Don't throw it away.
Yeah, man,
Man.
I'm false.
Yeah, but
I paid 30 for that.
hey, I'm pouring this out, bro.
Damn.
I got a peach one. I kind of want to just go ahead and taste the peach.
Go ahead and get another one. Go ahead
I
and get
mean,
another
Well, I actually wanted to see what that peach. It was called peach tea, wasn't it?
Yeah, I had the peach.
Yeah, that caught my attention. It wasn't fire.
The peach is a good exercise for me in somebody nailing what they say they're gonna nail. I didn't really like it, but
Okay,
you know, I thought that they nailed the note.
got you.
I mean, you know, you can overdo it, man. It's been overdone with the raspberries.
Is it tart? Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
it's tart, man. It's real tart. I don't even know what that ABV is on it, man. I don't even want to look at it.
Man, but if you back up though, raspberries are tart.
They are.
If you saying they nailed it,
then you
might
have to
not-
go higher.
No, they
you might not
overdid it.
like it.
They overdid it though, man.
I
Well,
don't-
that's the only note. Well, you know what? That's the only note they say. They say Berliner Weiss style, whatever, raspberries. And that's what they did.
What style is it?
But you know,
Berliner.
Oh, Berliner Wise. Okay.
when you get something like this, man, you thinking it's gonna be fire.
man, but that's
You know what?
oh,
I've had a few.
The nice nose. No, bro.
I mean, he can barely take a sip, man. Like he
Oh.
ain't even getting nothing.
I'm about to pour out. You know what? I'm about to drink some water. That's what I'm about to do.
So what you say you gave it a 2?
you said
275.
275. That's just my personal opinion.
I think they got dislike bias in it though, man.
If you notice, I haven't gone back to Branch and Bone since the first.
Yeah, I haven't been back since the 2 I had either.
I don't know, man. I guess I was slipping today in the honey hole.
But it'll be interesting to see what you think of the peach.
And I mean, it was like a $4 beer.
Yeah, it was a good charge.
Yeah, it was like
and
four-
the can work is lovely, man. I mean, their
Yeah.
can work sticks out. You see that can, it's like, oh, what is that?
They got good can work, and it's from Dayton too. So you got to buy it.
Man. And she recommended it. She's like, "Oh, you like those?"
Hey, Astronaut Blue was recommended to me too. He was hyped that I bought it. I'm super hyped. He's like, "Hey," I was like, "Oh, what?"
Yeah, because you just made them $30 off a 4-pack of
He's like,
beer.
When I left, he was like, "Man, how'd you sell that?" I was like,
You're right.
"It's been on the shelf for months."
Hey,
Born every day.
Corinne, the beer that we're talking about is about this big, right? I can get it upstairs. And it was how much a can?
It was 30. It was 30 for the
$30.
For the 4-pack. So you
Yeah.
can do your
But it I mean, in fairness, it is 15%.
It's
Yeah,
15.
that's up in that wine level.
Yeah.
Out of that 4, I only drank this much because I shared one with E, and then I think did I give you one?
You gave
No, I
me
gave-
one.
I
You
gave
just shared
last
one.
one. I gave Doug one.
Look, I'm gonna go get the peach, man. I'm so disappointed. I'm gonna get the peach.
I'm on record as saying that it's not trash, man.
Did you review it on pod?
No, I didn't review the peach. Nope.
All right, go ahead, E, man. You know.
Go ahead. All right, I got one of my favorite breweries out of Birmingham, Alabama, Trim Tab. They do IPAs really well, and they did this one really well. It's called Helix Rising. It is a 8.5 on the ABV. The hops that it has is Chinook, Simcoe, and Sequoia. And it says citrusy, tropical, and earthy. Notes of passion fruit, pineapple, apricot, berry, and scents of pine, like pine trees.
You can be drinking dirt, dog.
Oh, man, I heard Sequoia in there. That's
Right.
pretty dirt.
Right.
He's drinking mulch.
What's crazy is you do get the scents of pine, but you get those fruity notes too. The nose is great. But when you taste it, yeah, this joint is fire. Y'all might not mess with it because it's a little hop forward, obviously with 3 different hops in it. It definitely is hop forward. But that's what I look for in IPAs, hop forward with, you know what I'm saying, that balance of citrus. They nailed it, man. I'm gonna give them a 4.75 on this joint. When I first cracked it, it was, you know what I'm saying, really cold, and it was a little bit bitter to the taste, drinking it cold. It's actually warmed up a little bit. It's not room temp, but it's kind of mellowed out, and it's that perfect IPA, man. Once again, Trim Tab, Helix Rising, they're out of Birmingham, Alabama.
What's the ABV on it?
ABV is 8.5, and I spent, I think, 16 for the 4-pack.
Yeah, that ain't bad.
You know what I'm saying? And it was on the shelf in Kroger, which,
Oh, was it?
man, Nashville's Krogers are dope, man. Like, one, they show love to all the local breweries, so you can go in there and get anything, damn near anything that's in the city that's local. But whoever the buyer is for Kroger beers, they be killing it in Nashville. Well, Cincinnati not that bad either, man. Like, I've gotten some great joints out of Cincinnati. Seems like Kroger really supports their local breweries in whatever area they're located.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. But yeah, I was walking down the aisle, and I was kind of stuck on what I wanted to get because they had so many offerings. I was like, okay, let me go ahead and grab this one.
Have you ever seen Elvis Juice in Kroger?
Yeah, that's from Brewdog.
Okay, yeah. I'll be scared to pull the trigger on that thing, man.
I ain't never
I've seen that one.
I ain't never had a Brewdog. They have an actual, brewery and restaurant down here. Food is good. I ain't never had one of their beers though.
They're out of Cincinnati?
It might be a pull-up spot for us.
Hey, let me switch this around my mouth and see if it tastes better.
Nah, man. This guy got jokes.
Hey, Corinne, you drink beer?
Of course,
You
of
on mute.
course. I was a broke college student. That was my first love.
Okay. He's having no malt 45.
No, I mean, I did everything. I did black and tan back in the day. I still would drink a style here and there,
Okay.
But I do like beer. I like a good old IPA, but I ain't as well versed as you all are. But
Got you.
What are you sipping today? I saw something.
bread and butter. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Some red wine, which is my first love now.
You want to give us a review?
Yeah, I'm actually hear that.
Swish it around in my mouth.
I think we got the title for this podcast, man.
Switch it around.
Swisher.
Well,
Swisher
it's
sweet.
delicious. It's tart. It's red, and it got alcohol in it.
So you like it tart. So you
I do.
like
I don't want none sweet. That Moscato, that's not me. I know some folk love a good Moscato, but not me. I want a good old red wine. Merlot, Cabernet.
I like cabs. Yeah, I like cabs a lot.
What style is the one you drinking now?
How much alcohol is in it?
No, what style is it? Merlot?
Yeah, that too.
Oh, this is Cabernet. I'm sorry, Cabernet.
Cabernet, okay.
Yes, this is Cabernet.
And
All right.
B-Dub
Tell
said
about
what
that
kind of,
alcohol.
how much?
The alcohol is 13.5% alcohol.
Yeah, let's
I
get
got
to
this
that.
from, actually from J. Alexander's. They have a wine sale on Mondays and
Oh
Tuesdays.
man, I was just there today.
$20 bottles. Mondays and Tuesdays. So
we was in Chicago one time, and we was out to eat, me, E, and a couple of other guys. I don't drink wine, so they ordered a bottle of wine, you know. So they go around, they fill everybody's glass up, and everybody was killing it. I took a sip, like, man, this is disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Man,
dude trying to come back around and fill me up. I just went like this. I was like, I ain't want no more of that thing, man.
Hey man, I think the most smacked I've ever been has been off wine, man. We was working down in Nashville, E, and we had some cats that had some pretty expensive taste, so they was buying, you know, top notch shit. And you know, I'm just like, you know, whatever, keep it coming. But I don't know what it is or what it's doing. And I mean, it got to, we probably sat down for dinner about 7. It got to be about 9. I was like, I have to go to bed. I'm like, I just laid it down. I kindly got up, like, I will see y'all in the morning. There's no more kick for me.
How I got into wine was them dinners, man. Buying that high end expensive stuff, because I didn't know the difference between cheap wine and good wine until you actually have it, and then you realize like there's a big difference between like a $100 bottle of wine and a $5 bottle of wine.
It all smelled like feet to me.
I'm gonna move this right along, man. So we want to introduce our guests. We got Dr. Corinn. Amazing bio, but I don't have it in front of me to read it.
no worries.
So I'm gonna go ahead and let you introduce yourself.
Absolutely. Good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Corinn, and I am a registered nurse by trade, but I have a master's degree in community health nursing and a doctorate in organizational leadership. And I have been a nurse for about 26 years now. However, I'm also an author, and I'm also a motivational speaker, and I'm also a life coach. And my book is called The Journey of Self-Discovery, Tapping into Your Inner Power and Purpose. And I launched the book about 2 years ago in COVID, but really the purpose of the book really is a holistic self-help guide that really looks at 6 components of wellness. And wellness is truly the pursuit of activities and choices to make your life better, to make you healthier. So in the book, I talk about 6 components of being a nurse. I know in our community, we suffer a lot with health disparities. This has been around for decades. I know COVID exposed a lot with health disparities, but everything is killing us. So really looking at how can I educate the community on how to be physically well? How are we going to the doctors and taking care of ourselves to be able to live a healthy life for our families? How are we being mentally and emotionally well? You know, a lot of mental health illnesses out in the community, there's a lot of stigma around it, but talking about it like it's a true disease, like high blood pressure or diabetes, because it's a real thing. Talking about spiritual wellness, connecting to a higher power, and how are you doing that in your life to kind of walk away from the things that you deal with in life. And then I talk about social wellness, which is really dealing with healthy relationships and how do you allow those relationships in your life, and not just boyfriend, girlfriend. Sometimes there's family relationships or good friendship that you have to walk away from when you start to learn about who you are and what you are, and being able to create those boundaries and don't allow disrespect anymore in your life. And then also looking at financial wellness. How do we manage our money? And look at those things. And then intellectual wellness looks at really having an open mind. And then career wellness. What is that career choice for you that drives you and fuels you? And all of those things collectively, it influences everyone's life journey. So being able to be the best in all of those categories. And once you figure out who you are and what you are, and you're physically healthy and you're mentally healthy, you're going to tap into your inner power and purpose. You're going to know who you are and what you are. So in the book, I take individuals on a journey of self-discovery to be able to understand how do you work on those things one day at a time. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So, you know, for me, Doug knows me from a very long time ago. One of the things I still struggle with is mental and emotional wellness, because I will pop off. However, that's not always the best way to be, but trying to undo the things that, you know, I'm raised 1 of 5 in the inner city. I'm from Toledo, Lucas County in the building. But being raised in that environment, sometimes that's what you know to do, but that's not always the healthiest thing. And I had to teach myself how to fight with this and not this, you know. So being able to teach others what wasn't given to me by not no happenstance of anyone else, but just growing and evolving into the woman that I am today. And I'm super excited because I'm getting ready to relaunch the book, and I'm launching the Empowerment Coaching Academy, which is my baby, which I've been working on since I've launched the book, because the book is one thing and the Empowerment Coaching Academy is a spinoff. And me being a life coach, wanting to teach those individuals who look like me, who was told that they would never do anything in life. I was told I would do nothing in life but be on welfare and have children. However, you know, going through life and going through the things I went through and accomplishing what I've accomplished, it was blood, sweat, and tears. So I want to be able to teach those women who look like me, and when the world tells them they can't do it, really reinforcing in them, encouraging and inspiring them to be the best version of themselves. So the Empowerment Coach Academy really focus on empowering and inspiring transformational results in the lives of the individuals that I serve. And I do that by bridging the gap from where they are to where they're trying to go. And I do that a variety of ways, but I help them build self-confidence, because we know that's needed to do anything in this world. You got to be self-confident. I help them unlock their inner strengths, like myself. You know, I just came to school to be a nurse. All these other accolades I have was never in my plan. I just came to be a nurse, and that was it. But the more I had an open mind and I learned and I grew, I was able to unlock really who I am and what I am. And I'm very self-assured now, if you can't tell. And then also I provide them a roadmap on how they achieve their dreams. So sometimes with a lot of coaching courses, they're talking heads. But what I do is I provide unwavering support, and I hold your hand very differently, because people need different things in their lives to be able to achieve their dreams. As a cheerleader, as a support person, to take them down that road, to help them create a purpose-driven life. So I'm super excited. August 17th at Nostalgia from 6 to 8. I am relaunching my book since it was launched in COVID, and I'm also launching my coaching academy. I do one-on-one coaching. I do group coaching. I do a la carte coaching. I do everything, master classes and things like that, just trying to educate my community to be the best version of themselves, using myself as an example and the things that I've been through from UC to grad school to get my doctorate degree, because I'm not really a person that, I'm an egghead, but I'm not good at math. And I struggled a lot. And my ACT score wasn't that great. And my GRE wasn't that great. You know, but being able to tell those people who may think that, well, you've achieved all this success, that it was blood, sweat, and tears, and putting in the work to achieve your dreams, you can do anything you put your mind to. Right. And I know that was a whole mouthful.
Hey,
You
broke it down. You broke it down. I'm glad you added the UC Connect, because you know, we represent UC and the Beta Eta Omicron love. So you already know.
Absolutely.
Hey, thanks for being on. I just want to, you know, first thank you for allowing us to get this time. Your bio is magnificent, and I just want you to kind of like talk about maybe an example of a time where you really brought a young lady through, you know, through the storm, and what were some things that she may have been going through that you were kind of able to, you know, identify and kind of bring her through.
Absolutely. You know, I think I do a lot of mentoring. Like I do, you know, it's not always through the coaching course, but I know this is my passion. And this is what God had put me on this earth to do. But the one example that comes to mind is someone who she's married and she has 4 small children. They're all under the age of 7. My kids is big. My kids is big, but so she started nursing school 6 years ago, but she dropped out when she got pregnant. Her husband traveled for a living, so she had to drop out and not achieve her dream. So what I'm helping her do is we are getting her back into nursing school, and I'm helping her using my network to be able to connect her to those resources, because I know my professional job, I work for United Healthcare and I cover the state. And I help those women and children who are on Medicaid. I create programs and services for them to achieve healthy birth outcomes. So for me, all of the connections I have in Cincinnati and across the state, I've been there for 6 years, and a big part of my role is building those relationships. So connecting her with individuals that I know to help her achieve her goals. So right now she has re-enrolled and she's taking one class at a time. Again, it is a marathon, not a sprint, but she's doing it on her own terms, and she's doing it online. So back when I went to UC, that was back in 92, some of those options were not there. So for her, being able to connect and tap on my network to present her with those options to be able to go back to school one class at a time. Now, has she had some setbacks? Absolutely. Because, you know, her husband works, he's a trucker, he's gone, you know, 5-6 days out of the week. So the children falls on her. But really being able to inspire and encourage her to be able to give yourself grace, not be so hard on yourself, and to be able to keep pushing. I tell my story because I wasn't a 4-year student. I'm not sure how many of y'all was a 4-year student. It took me 7 years. It took me 7 years.
Hold on. Doug, did you say you was?
No. I
Oh,
said
okay.
I wasn't.
I was about to
You going to put me out there like that?
No,
You gonna put me out there?
I was
Damn,
like,
bro.
man, I thought we was in this together. He was like, I was.
Nah, I wasn't a 4-year. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. And no, I say it to say, just telling my story, because you may look at me and say, okay, she got all this, but it was blood, sweat, and tears, and I don't have no rich parents at home to help me. So trying to encourage her that even though you have to take a step back and you can't take 2 classes, I don't care how you get there how you can. Ain't that how the song go? I don't care how you get there, but achieve your goals at the pace you can achieve them. And we ain't in a competition with no one but ourselves. Right. So we ain't looking at Susie and we ain't looking at Joey. We competing with ourselves. And that's the hardest fight there is. Right. So being able to help her get to that level. I've had mentors I've helped get new jobs. I've helped them rewrite their resumes and, using some of those keywords and phrases that they're looking for. Because a lot of times in our professional roles, we do what we do, but we don't really take a step back to say, what do we do? Right? What skill set do we have that's transferable? I'm a nurse by trade, but I build programs. I collaborate. I do. There's tons of things that I do that it's more than just being a nurse and taking care of patients. So looking into some of my mentors to say, what is it that you do? And then digging deep, providing them with assessments and things to be able to help them critically think about kind of where they want to be. Somebody come in my house, y'all. It's my pit bull. Somebody coming in the house.
My dog was just barking. I don't know if y'all heard.
Listen, somebody coming in. I know because they act up when somebody come in. But just being able to help them whatever that dream is. So if you want to go back to school, if you want to start a new career, if you want to be an entrepreneur, sometimes, as we all know, being college students, when you come out and you do something new, it's scary, right? But having that support system to really push you and encourage you along the way to say you can do this.
Right, because you was kicking it too hard. I know that's why.
That's why it took me 7 years. But I was smart though, Doug, because most folk just got F's. Now I had like a B and a C and then 3 W's.
That withdrawal.
So my GPA was still good, but I wasted money as an adult. I wasted tons of money. But to your point, I was doing a lot. So I'm using my story. Doug know me. If you know me, you know me. But being able to achieve the things I've achieved, it wouldn't be without the mentors that I had to show me the way and who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. So giving that back to the next generation, because I feel like if I would have got me early on, what could I have achieved? And I've achieved greatness. I'm not knocking anything I've done, but just trying to educate my community, because I know we raised this world. Black women, we raised this world. We breastfed this world. We was in them fields doing so you can't tell me we can't do what we need to do in this world. But the world continues to beat us down. So I want to be that bright, shining light to whoever that is that needs my help, to be able to say, you can do anything you put your mind to, because I'm an example. I was a bad child. I was in school fighting a lot. I'm from Toledo, if you know anybody from Toledo.
T-Town.
Hey, you're the only person I know from Toledo.
I got a homeboy from Toledo. I'm about to ask him about you.
Please do. Hopefully he's my age, though. Please ask him. But I've grown a lot, though, and I want to give back to my community in a way that we can evolve this next generation, and take it to that very next level.
I want to ask you about, obviously you said you're a nurse, so you went to school for nursing. At what point in your career did you realize that you wanted to do more and give back to the community?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too.
That's an excellent question. You know what? I want to say when I first graduated, I was like, and sometimes you don't know what you know. Sometimes people see stuff in you that you're just like, I don't know why they keep asking me to do this, but okay. So being a nurse, 6 months out of nursing school, they had me in charge of the unit. And I think to me now, when I look back on that showed my leadership ability, right? Like you're a 6-month new grad. How are you running the entire unit, taking patients, helping individuals out? So I think that showed my leadership skills, but I was a full-time student since high school. People don't know that. I graduated high school, went to UC. UC did me dirty, left UC after 3 years, went to a school of nursing, got my RN degree, went back to UC and got my bachelor's and got my master's. So when I was in school, I was working as a nurse, but I was getting my bachelor's degree. And then I was just learning more. I had an open mind, just like, you know what? Like, what else can I do? And I was from the community, so I loved community health nursing. So I went into it's public health now, but back then it was community health nursing, and just like really growing and evolving. But I think when I became, I worked as a program manager for TriHealth. I was with TriHealth for probably 15 years as a nursing assistant and things like that. But I had a boss who let me do whatever I wanted to do. She would tell me all the time, the sky's the limit, do whatever you want to do. I don't care. I think when she allowed me to spread my wings and fly, that's when I realized I love research. I'm an egghead by nature, don't look like it, but I'm a big old nerd. So I did a lot of research for the organization on the work that I was doing, and I won a ton of awards. Who knew? I was just doing what I love to do. And then at that point, I recognized and realized that it was something in me that was special and it was different. So when I got my master's degree, I said, you know what? I'm gonna go back and get my doctorate, because doctorate is all about research and trying to use that body of knowledge to change the world. So, because I wanted to be a nurse that changed the world from a very global perspective. So there's nurses who change the world at the bedside, but I want to change it through advocacy. I want to change it through policy. I want to create global programs to change the outcomes for my community that my family still lives in, and to be able to make my community better. So I think for me, just kind of learning, because I'm a very curious soul. I ask questions about everything, but I think I realized that the people saw something in me that I didn't see. But when I figured out what that was, I took a hold of it and said, you know what? I'm really, really good at I've been mentoring since I was a floor nurse. I've always mentored nurses, but I just thought it was just a part of the job. But then I realized that people kind of flocked to me and they looked to me for advice and how to do this. And then all of this came after the book. So me getting into the coaching academy, this came after the book. And I just realized and recognized, even in my current role, you know, I have mentors there. I've been mentoring all my life. And I think I have this power and influence in me to be able to encourage and inspire those to be able to do more than they think they can do. And I know that's a long-winded answer, but.
No, that's perfect. So let's get into the book. You said that the academy comes after the book. So let's back up and get into the book.
Get it.
So far, you've taken us through nursing school and then kind of your inspiration for mentoring and some of the other things you do. How do we get to the stage where you're like, you know what, it's time for a book?
Well, you know, for me, I think I recognize I'm a nurse by trade, and I was always interested in educating my community, right? And I'm like, how can I do this? Like, what can I give the world that's going to make a difference? And for me, it has to have a health focus, because I've seen too many research studies, too many patients coming in, and then they leave with a toe tag. They look like me, right? So for me, I'm like, okay, so I want to have a focus on something that improves the health, but I understand health is more than just physical health. Mental health is huge. So I think those are the first two things that I started. And I was just brainstorming. I think for me, just trying to figure out, how do I say this? Because I have a doctorate. I know how to write scholarly, but I want to keep it 100. Right? I want to educate people in a way that they understand. So I don't want to talk up here. I have a doctorate. It's not who I am. It's a piece of who I am. You know, Corinn is the funk without the doctorate, you know, but being able to talk to people. So it started with physical wellness and then mental and emotional wellness, because my family, you know, we like a good old pop-off session. So from that, thinking about, you know, how can we spin it and not be like, you know, gloom and doom, but how about wellness? Because wellness means you're actively pursuing a different life, different choices, doing things differently than what you know to be better. So when I started doing my research, because I'm a researcher, you know, I'm like, oh, but there's other things to wellness. There's healthy relationships, right? I was married for 19 years, great marriage. However, I recognized and realized that part of that relationship wasn't healthy and it wasn't good for me. And I was there for the children, but someone told me, when the children leave, what you gonna do? Good point. You know, my oldest son is 25, my middle son is 19, and my baby girl about to be 15. So, you know, life moves quickly. So I'm like, you know what? I want to talk about the wholeness of a person, right? Because physical and mental wellness is a piece of who you are, but how about your finances, right? You know, there's tons of issues in our community about financial wellness or being financially savvy. And then I looked at, you know, like even my career, you know, I'm a nurse. I love being a nurse, but now I'm toying into this entrepreneur space. You know, it's scary, it's new. So I wanted to be able to create a book that could affect anyone. Now, my population is women and children, but anyone can read this book and apply the principles. The principles are not women focused, but because I'm a Black woman, I was raised by a single mother. I'm one of 5, raised by a single Black mother, you know, trying to give back in that way and look at how do we do all of these things, have the relationships, get our career. So a lot of times for women, we'll take a step back and take care of the family. And I did that. I took a step back and took care of my family. But how can I still do that and still be everything I'm supposed to be? Yeah. So the book just came. There was a lot of brainstorming, a lot of research, and see what's out there, seeing what the experts say, and then being able to pull that all together. And then you start writing. So I tell everyone at first, writing was the most difficult thing for me. However, when the book is done, you got to market it. That's the hardest part because the marketing is over and over. And you tell them again, and you tell them again, and you tell them again. And sis got tired. But it was a labor of love. And I think if there's anyone trying to write a book, tell your story, use your story throughout the book. And what does that look like and feel like? You know, whether you are an expert basketball player and you're trying to educate the community, use that story being a basketball player and make it in your terms. So it just depends on kind of what space and place you sit in as it relates to trying to write a book. So for me, you know, always health is first and foremost because I work for the Medicaid line of business and the Medicaid is the underserved. So my heart and my passion is the underserved. And it's always been because I'm from the community and I want to impact the community that I serve. So I chose to stay in that lane when I wrote the book. And I can talk, y'all, if y'all can't tell.
No, you make her job easy. That make her job easy.
Making our job easy.
You are one of the easiest interviewees we've ever had.
Just ask a question and let you go.
Right.
Period, I'm gone.
I'm like,
I tried to say something. I like that. I can't even get that in.
I'm like, man, this
I love
might be
him.
I'm like, man, this
I
might
love
be
you
the
guys.
first. This might be the first pod where I don't say anything.
I have a lot to say. I have a lot to give to my community, and I'm super
And we
excited
appreciate
about
that.
it. Doug even
Hey.
invited me. What else y'all got for me? Bring it on.
I love you. I love your energy.
Thank you.
I appreciate what you do as far as services wise, and a lot of these kids, I won't say just female, just kids, they need that cheerleader in their life. They don't have nobody in their life to speak up for them or give them that confidence. And I think confidence is important. I was listening to somebody's story today, and her story was her dad hustled, went to prison. The whole family centered around him. The mom didn't work. The kids depended on, they didn't know what he did, but they knew they lived a upper echelon type of lifestyle. And then she was always attracted to that lifestyle because of her father. So she was always hanging on the block, messing with the wrong crowd. And then when she got into her adult life, she didn't have any skills.
Right.
She didn't know what to do except that lifestyle. And then it came to the point where she had to settle down, and she was just like, she didn't care if her man cheated on her or not. She was just like, she didn't have that worth in her. Like, she was just like, well, if you go looking for something and you find something, then you shouldn't have been looking. Like, she was so lost in the sauce. I was just like, she needed somebody in her life to get her on the right path. And I just think that what you do is very important to some of these kids who don't have no direction in life. So I appreciate you.
No, absolutely. And I feel like, even for me, I have not always been this confident, even though people have said I have been. But I think for me, in my early 30s is when I kind of figured it out and that light bulb went off. And, that I recognize and realize that, I too dabbled in some things I probably shouldn't have dabbled in. But when I tell you God's grace is sufficient, it sits all around you. However,
Amen, sister.
come on now, listen, don't get me started now, Doug. Sister Taylor. Don't get Sister Taylor started. But being able to grow and learn and just meet new people and learn new things and get out of that environment, right? I can go to a gala and I can go to a hole in a wall and I will be comfortable in either one. Because I've lived that life, but being able to tap into someone, to be able to critically think about who you are and what you are, even though you've had that life and that's been your story, that's not who you are. God's not done with you yet. There's so much more to you, but you have to be open-minded.
Yes.
Right? Because a lot of times we're very closed-minded and we just do what we know. And sometimes that's not good. Sometimes I say have a curious mind. Ask a question. Well, what's this and why is this? And, and then you will figure out what you like and what you're good at. Because like the old saying that goes, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Right?
Your story, Billy, kind of not reminds me, but it puts me in the mindset of, when ladies get out of the penitentiary, that transition sometimes is just as difficult as men transitioning back into the real world. So what's your thoughts on that? Like, have you had that as an avenue for some opportunity or not?
You know what? Professionally. So I work for Medicaid. So we do a lot of work with the women who are coming out of prison who are pregnant, because I work with the pregnant women and their children.
Okay.
So being able to, but we provide services and we give them cell phones and like we give them a little stipend and some things. We're the insurer to be able to help them go through that. But to your point, I think that being a life coach, my job is just to really encourage and inspire you to that next level. You have to do the work. And I think for me, anything I offer, the person has to be willing to do the work. Coming out of prison, there's probably a lot of things you're dealing with. And I think a life coach coupled with a therapist, you can accomplish everything, but it's really how ready are you to change, right? How ready are you? Because everybody's not ready to live their best life. I wasn't, when I was in my 20s, I was not. This was, turning up a little bit, but everyone's not ready to change, but being able to survey and say, because you have to do the work and you have to do something different. It's not going to be easy. I ain't going to lie to you. I ain't going to sugarcoat it. It's going to be hard, but when you come through the other end, it's going to be worth it. So trying to look at things in different perspectives. So I think for me, I haven't touched that outside of work. However, I think it's definitely an untapped population, even for men though, because I feel like, and I can get on my high horse because the world just drives me crazy, but even for men, the recidivism, so how can we keep these men out if you don't give them jobs and the jobs don't want them because they're a felon and they're going to go back and do exactly what they do, be a stick up kid, sell some drugs and go right back. And that revolving door is very unfortunate, but how can our community do things better to be able to allow those men to get a skill or a trade or go back to school? Because I think ultimately for every human being, they just want to take care of their family.
Yeah,
they want to take care of their family, and that's it, and that's all. And if we give them opportunities to take care of their family sufficiently, not the coins we throw at them, to be able to sufficiently take care of their family, I think half the things we deal with wouldn't be here.
It's just like our justice system is like, now exception for like murder, but correct. It seems like you do a crime, you go to jail, you do your time, but then you get out, you're still basically in jail. That follows you wherever you go. And it seems like it just minimizes what you're able to do in life. Because I mean, you get the application, you're gonna have to check that box. And then that just limits what you can do. And that's funny that you mentioned prison, because the same person that I'm talking about, she said that it took a village to raise her because she had a kid. She said she basically was raising her kid over the phone. Like her kid would get in trouble. The mom she would call like her daily calls and she would like tell the mom, instruct him how to punish her son, like over the phone. This is for 9 years.
Is this an episode of Trap Queens?
This was this wasn't Trap Queens, but she was on Trap Queens.
Okay, because I feel like I heard this exact same story. I'm like, yeah,
she was on Trap Queens.
He's a Trap Queen fan though, so it may be Trap Queen.
I got it DVR. I ain't watched it yet.
Yeah, I'm like, that story sounds familiar as hell.
Yeah, and then she was making so much fast money, but she got a real job and she was making like 90 bands a year on a real job.
So she had a whole turnaround though, because I just feel like I think a lot of times our community, the world that we live in, we hang people on a cross, right? Because they've served their time, right? So why are we still, holding them on the cross and saying, well, you did this? Because everyone has made a mistake. Now, I may not have been to prison, but everyone has made a mistake that they ain't proud of. We ain't proud of it, but we did it. So how can we turn that around for some of these prisoners? Like to your point, murder, child molestation.
Yeah, they ain't no coming back from that.
Yes, but they need treatment too, because again, people ain't born to do that. Someone made them like that. You don't just come out of your mama's womb and want to molest children, want to murder people. There's some things going on there that needs help beyond me. But I just think our community could be well served if looking at programs to be able to help some of those prisoners. But I know it's a systemic issue. It's just not one program that's going to fix it. It's systemic. Right. If this job don't take felons or you lie about it, then they going, it's just all of this, just tangled web of, what you do. But however she made her 90 stacks a year, she must have did a good thing because, woo.
Selling cars.
Yeah, I know a few people who was in the streets and now they car salesmen. Fast money, my thing is that I feel like anybody who's a street guy, I feel like they're a perfect salesman. Like, cause if you selling drugs or doing what you do, you ain't no slouch. You know how to negotiate.
I seen a reel the other day and I was listening to it and I was like, man, this makes a lot of sense. And once again, we are Hops and Starks and we do not promote any illegal activities.
Correct.
But the dude was talking about, he was like being a drug dealer. He was like, if you can sell drugs where it's illegal, you can't market it, you can't broadcast it, you can't, you know what I'm saying, buy flyers. It was like, what better salesman is there? Yep. I'm like, it made a hell of a lot of sense what he was saying. Well, once again, we do not promote illegal activities here.
Well, you just did.
I didn't promote it, man, but it made a lot of sense. He was like, man, he was like, if I can make all of this money in a game where I can't market my product, advertise, and blah blah blah, I was thinking like, man, but if you take that same person and you set him at a car lot, the same principles apply. You know what I'm saying? Like you got a mouthpiece, like, and that's the one thing that, you know what I'm saying, we don't get into a lot in the community. Is like, hey man, if you 100 bands up by doing this in the streets, just think what you could do legitly.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be 500,000 up with a new hustle, because obviously there's something in you. You just using it for alternative means.
That's emotional intelligence, man, because those people are able to relate to those people, convey what they want them to sell or buy, and close the deal. So it takes a lot of different type of intelligence to be a good salesman.
Like I was saying earlier, I think it's just a skill set. Like, you know, because I'm a nurse, but I have a big skill set. So they have a skill set, and that skill set is transferable. You can do it anywhere, right? Yeah. It's to your point. It's just that mouthpiece, and you know, having that emotional intelligence, and what we call it something different. You know, where I'm from.
If I can convince you to go ahead and buy these drugs versus feeding your family, you know, I'm a salesman, but the high is really, I'm selling that high. You know what I mean? But we don't condone any of that behavior.
I mean, clearly we do. This is like
we don't, man.
Fourth or fifth time we've had to say that we don't.
Hey, we're making an analogy.
From what I hear,
we interrupt this programming to bring to you, Hops and Stocks does not condone any illegal activities.
Right. I'll say it again before I say what I'm going to say. Not promote illegal activity. Right. But from what I hear is, you don't sell drugs, you sell yourself.
There you go. That's where you go. Put a little bow on it.
Hops and Stocks. What is that thing? The Hops and Stocks cartel. That's what we are.
Listen.
So I know
talking about trap queens and all sorts of stuff.
Right.
She's my trap queen. Let her hit the bando.
For the culture, though. It's for the culture. It's for the culture.
So I have a friend that has a life coach. Can you talk about, because when I hear about life coaching, it sounds like a form of therapy. Mm-hmm. So what's the difference between therapy and life coaching, and how do they overlap? Because you mentioned it earlier. You was like, you know, some people have a life coach and a therapist. Like, how can we benefit from having one or the other, or both?
You know, I tell everyone the world will be a much better place if everyone had a life coach and a therapist. Because the therapist has the educational background to understand. It depends on the therapist, because there's all levels of, you know, you can be a doctor in therapy, you can be a social worker, have a master's degree in therapy, you know, but having that foundation of education and treatment and services and things like that. Whereas a life coach is purely there to hold your hand and to really help you think differently about the things that you have going on. So giving you assignments and saying, you know, so where are we at today? You know, being able to say, okay, so next time we're going to try this, we're going to try that, and then come back to the table and say, well, how did that work out for you? Did it not work? Did it work? Where a therapist is really looking into the psychology of who you are and looking at, you know, because everyone's upbringing impacts their future. You know, whatever that was, and everyone has challenges or whatever from their upbringing that's different and unique from other people. And the therapist is going to be able to get to the root of that and to be able to give you ideas and strategies to be able to go to that next level, to help you mentally out. Whereas a life coach is going to be able to let you talk and give you for me, I give assignments and I do evidence-based assessments that you complete to helps you think through things. So I have a strength finder assessment that is evidence-based. It's a little quiz you take, and it tells you what your strengths are. And then I take that assessment and I leverage that to say, well, if these are your strengths, how can we apply them to whatever you're trying to achieve? So if you're an influencer, if you're a collaborator and you're trying to start a business, how can we use those skill sets and those strengths within you to be able to do that? Whereas a therapist is getting to some of the core of some maybe trauma or some things that you've experienced to be able to heal you in that way and to help you move on to be a better person. Because I tell everyone, every good therapist got a therapist. Every good therapist got a therapist.
Facts.
What if they ain't good at shit? Like, what if they just ain't good at shit? And they say, look, I don't know what I'm good at. I ain't good at nothing.
But you know what? But you know what, Doug? That's an excellent question because and I helped them get there though, because you may not be good at shit.
Right. You know, right?
That's
fine. You're
an
fine.
excellent question.
What if you just suck at life and you just
I mean, you got to pour that out of people. Like, I don't know. I mean, yeah.
And but what I do is like I have homework assignments. So in my coaching course, there's 5 chapters in it. There's an introduction where I get to know who you are and what you are and why are you here. And if you say, well, I don't really know, we're going to talk about that, right? So through the assessment I have you take, you're going to be able to look at the assessment and say, okay, the assessment shows this. So let's talk about how can we use that to make whatever that thing that you want to do, whether it's going back to school, starting a career, to be able to figure that thing out. So you may suck, but everybody got a gift. Everyone has a gift. We don't know what it is, but it's up to me to help you get there.
If you suck, Dr. Corinn just like, well, just pack it in.
Welfare.
Let's just call it a day.
But again, I have one chapter that talks about unlocking the strengths within you. And then the second chapter is being strong in the face of adversity to build resilience. Because as y'all went to UC, as we know, life gonna always throw stuff at you. It ain't never gonna be easy breezy. I don't care how much money you got, because you see folk killing themselves left and right and they millionaires. Money don't solve it. Life is gonna continue to throw things, but how do you be able to be strong in the face of adversity? And then being able to provide you a roadmap to be able to say, through these assessments and things I have you do to work with me, to be able to get you to that next level, to figure out who you are and what you are. So I have like that coaching course. I have a 6-month coaching program for those who may air quote suck, according to Doug.
Put that on him. Put that on him.
Don't put that on me.
Yeah, Doug said you suck.
He said, what if you ain't good at shit?
Somebody good at cooking, somebody good at cleaning.
Man,
somebody good at taking care of
he's basically
kids.
saying you don't have anything.
But there's people out here who may think that, because I didn't think I was, but I had to figure out what I was and and get it all together though.
Like, man, what if you this beer?
Huh?
Yeah, why are you still drinking that beer?
Yeah, that's what you're saying. I saw him take a swig of it like
Desperate.
I'm trying to.
Desperate.
Hey,
that was his punishment for saying that. What he said.
She's giving me the motivation to get through this. You know what I mean?
Coaching him through it.
You can do it, Doug.
Thank you.
You put your mind to. You just plug your
this
nose.
Beer ain't shit. Because this beer ain't shit.
But you over there savoring it, man. Just bang that mug.
Ain't you a bear cat, or maybe not?
I ain't banging this.
Dr. Taylor, before we let you get out of here, why don't you talk about your academy? I know you were real excited, when we first came on. So why don't you talk about your academy?
So the Empowerment Coaching Academy, of course, with empowerment in the name, is really designed to empower individuals to be able to be the best version of themselves, whatever that is. I know for me, mine was education. I've always been a smart kid. However, others may not be education. Other folk may want to be a rapper. Other folks may want to be, make beats or be a producer. So the academy is really to tap into who you are and what you are and to take you to that very next level. I do group coaching, and in the group coaching, I talk about being your authentic self, because I'm Korean tried and true. Now I have issues with that in the past, but knowing who I am and what I am, being able to be my authentic self at work, just like this. So I also teach you how to build self-confidence. So for some of those organizations who have individuals who's trying to go to the next level, I can sell my curriculum to organizations to be able to help their employees take that very next step to be able to be the best version of themselves. So I have one-on-one coaching, and my coaching course is online, 5 chapters, where you meet with me after every chapter, because there's assignments in every chapter, and I review them with you and talk about kind of the next steps. So every chapter builds upon itself. So every chapter you take, it gets you closer to that next level. And then being able to provide that roadmap of sorts to be able to say, okay, what do I do next? You have a roadmap from me created by the Empowerment Coaching Academy to be able to take you to that very next step. So coming soon, more to come.
And it's
Lots
not
and
free.
lots
It's
on the
not free. So
horizon.
it's not free, right? So you have to pay for your subscription. Or
You have to pay for your subscription. So I do a la carte. So sometimes there's individuals who have achieved things in their life, but they're in a different space and place. And sometimes I'll do a la carte. So maybe you may not be able to, you know what you're strong at. You just may be stuck right now. So I do a la carte, and I do that by doing an assessment initially. When I meet with my coachees, I do an assessment. Like, tell me why you're here. Tell me what can I help you with. And then from that conversation, I build the plan out. Whether it's going to the videotape course and having the one-on-one sessions with me afterwards, whether it's just talking to me once a week, being able to take it to that very next level.
You asked them, what shit are you good at? That's what you said. What shit are you good at? Are you good at some shit or no?
Are you good at some shit?
That's the first question on your survey. Like, are you good at some shit?
First question is, why are you here? What can I do to help you? And then that's when they tell me their story. They tell me their life story. And then because I have I'm very intent on listening to what they're saying, being able to take notes and be able to regurgitate to them, what I hear them saying, and this is what I can do for you. And everyone may not be a good fit for coaching, because some folk, want to make excuses and don't want to put in the work that needs to be done to get it done. And that's fine. And at some point you'll come back around.
Right.
So but everybody's good at some, Doug. Everybody's good at some.
Right.
Those people you be like, yeah, you
fake
not good at shit.
comedian.
But I want you to get your money. I want you to get your money. So
Trust me, I'm getting my money. Just trust and believe I'm getting my money.
Man, I'm like, you see the background of that crib? She getting that money.
Yeah.
Right. Because we hops and stocks. So it's always a financial side. Like, I want to make sure, that you.
I see like some original artwork in the background. She getting that bread.
Well, listen now, y'all. I heard through the grapevine that Tesla, they opening their stock up to the public in August. Did y'all hear that? Hops and stocks.
What do you mean
open up to the public?
They're doing an open, I forget the exact name of it. A good friend of mine's told me. So you can go in and purchase their stock, or how many, if it's $100 a share, it's way more than that. But
Yeah.
you can purchase
maybe a stock split.
Stock split or something.
There you go. That's what it's called. That's what it was.
Split, okay. I hadn't heard that though.
Yeah, Tesla's coming in August.
Okay.
I know Amazon was last month.
Yeah.
I heard Tesla is August.
Right
now. So
hey,
I'm getting my money though, but I appreciate you guys for bringing me on. So all y'all Beta Ada?
No,
I'm the only bro.
I'm regular.
I'm Eric.
You special. I saw the last name, so I thought it was a play on Diggs. Sorry.
That's just me.
Y'all all went to UC though.
Yeah. E was Ohio State.
Not E.
I went to Ohio State.
He's a bum
Ohio
eye
State.
fan. He's a bum eye.
Yeah, but we all, for 3 out of the 5.
Well, I'm super happy Doug invited me. I had a great time with you all tonight. And
we love your energy. Love the energy.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, you got to pump that book re-release one more.
I was about to say, before you go, tell people where they can buy the book, your social medias if you have them, how they can contact you, how they can be told they ain't shit.
No, they are shit. How they can be told that they are the shit?
So before you get drop your contact information.
So Nostalgia. Hold on, Corinn. So you said Nostalgia. That's the wine place, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Downtown.
And that's black owned. That's black owned.
And we're getting it catered, and that's in collaboration with All in Cincinnati and Black Women Cultivating Change.
Okay.
We're partnering with me on the relaunch, so it'll be at Nostalgia, and it's catered by Soul Secrets.
Okay.
And it's going to be August 17th from 6 to 8 at Nostalgia.
Where's that at? Where's that at downtown?
I'm geographically challenged, Doug. I think it's at Main Street or Vine. I don't know. Let me be quiet.
I mean, you can. It's easy to find, but I don't know the name of the street.
Okay.
Hold on. I got it here. Let's
Nostalgia.
Nostalgia Wine and Jazz Lounge. I'm just geographically.
Vine Street.
Thank you. Yes, it's on Vine Street.
Yeah, I got you. Right next to the Soul Spot. Right next to the Soul Food.
It's
spot.
right next to the Soul Spot.
Yeah.
So parking. There's paid parking next to it. And my book is available on my website, drcorinn.com. Okay. If you want to reach out to me on social media, on Instagram, I'm Dr. Corinn. On LinkedIn, I'm Dr. Corinn Taylor. And on Facebook, I'm Dr. Corinn. And I also have my personal page, which is Corinn Taylor on social media. If you want to get in touch with me.
On the 17th, what's the time?
6 to 8.
6 to 8.
Okay.
Might have to pull up.
Pull up.
Yeah. Hops and Stocks might have to pull up.
They
in
love
there.
to pull up.
Listen, please pull up. You know, I got some Beta Ada bros in the building.
Yeah, we
I got some
can
Beta
be up in there. We
Ada
gotta
come to
show
support you.
support. Gotta show support.
Thank you.
You know, Beta Ada, Omicron. It ain't nothing but love between Beta Ada and Omicron. You already know that.
The old school Omicron coming through for the 90s.
90s, right?
When you said Omicron, I thought you was
Yeah, I'm
talking
talking about COVID. Like, man, y'all sharing COVID right now?
Damn.
She look good to have COVID. No.
I ain't sharing the variant.
Oh, man. Yeah, I thought it was variant talk.
I want to come back on. I want to bring me a beer and I want to taste it with y'all too.
Hey,
Oh,
you
you
come
come back
back
on.
on. Open
Yeah,
invitation.
no
You
doubt.
tell us when you want to come back on, and we'll get you scheduled.
So what would I do? Do I buy a beer and just and I just tell what I like?
Yep. You just go
Yeah,
buy
or what you don't like.
And you give it a rating. You
Just
give it
like
a
you
rating.
do with your clients. If it ain't shit, you tell them.
Yeah, you can say this beer ain't shit.
I heard Doug say it for the raspberry.
Yeah. But Dr. Corinn, we want to thank you once again for joining us. Your energy, you know what I'm saying? You made, like B-Dub said earlier, you made the show easy. You know what I'm saying? When we get guests that can when they have a lot of passion about what they involved in, it makes our job easier because we don't have to pull and prod to get information out of them.
It's just like having a conversation.
We ain't
Yeah.
gotta say shit. We really ain't gotta say shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Much success with the relaunch of the book, the
Yes.
Academy. And we don't care if they ain't shit, you know what I mean? Hops and
I'm gonna
Stocks.
make them into something.
Hops and Stocks, episode 47. We signing out. Peace.
Hey, Corinn, you can stick around if you want. We just it's episode's done, but we just chop it up for a couple minutes.
I'm about to crack another beer, man.
I'm about to
Listen, I'm hungry. I need to go eat.
All right,
I need
go
to
ahead
go.
on. Go ahead on. Eat.
Oh, y'all, thank you. I appreciate y'all. Bye bye.
Hi, Doc.
He said, bye.
Be a shell of a man if we ever depart from my heart to I'm riding with you. I'm riding with you.
Hops and Stocks podcast is presented by Untitled Media Group. We encourage our listeners to drink responsibly. Please note, we are not financial advisors. We do not offer or provide financial advice. Trademark copyrighted by Untitled Media Group.